Marvel films are a pretty big deal, yet the behind-the-scenes filming secrets of the superhero films are often ignored by the masses. Well, no longer. Today, we're going to let you in on some of Disney's Marvel movie mysteries. We're going to showcase some of the secrets and tricks that contribute to the epic MCU films we see on screen. So, lift up Mjolnir and let's get started. We don't know if you know this, but Marvel tends to showcase superpowers in their films. To film this, the actors will often use stunt wires. This way, a character can appear to effortlessly lift another into the air. In reality, the stunt coordinators will be pulling on the wires to hoist the actor above the ground. The other reason for using stunt wires is probably the most obvious: safety. Keeping the actors safe from injury is paramount. They can perform insane stunts and fighting abilities safely within the stunt wire harness. Once the scene is filmed, the wires are removed in post-production. In one behind-the-scenes video on Robert Downey Jr.'s Instagram, we can see a battle involving Chris Evans, Josh Brolin, and Downey. To showcase Thanos' mad lifting ability, Captain America is lifted into the air using wires. Once Cap passes out, Thanos throws him to the side. All of it is measured to show the Mad Titan's power, but also keep Evans nice and safe. As Marvel has a lot of characters from a variety of different species, the magic of CGI is very necessary.
Honestly, into this exact second, I thought you were Build-A-Bear.
Maybe I am.
After all, there aren't many massive green giants wandering about looking to get into the film industry. Yet, when on set with these characters, it looks vastly different than what we see on screen. Take Josh Brolin. He's decked out in a motion capture suit so the animators can capture every movement and expression Brolin makes. But as Thanos is much taller than Brolin, they created a unique way for the other actors to know where his head is and where to look. The filmmakers added a photo of the Mad Titan above Brolin's head. While it looks a tad bizarre, it really helps. A lot of the time, motion capture actors will use a tennis ball above them instead of a picture, such as this photo of Mark Ruffalo during Thor Ragnarok. But it doesn't exactly give the other actors much to work with when filming. It's hard to emote with an inanimate object. For the 2012 Avengers film, they even created prosthetic limbs of the Hulk to help stage the fight scene between him and Thor. With prosthetics like that, maybe they didn't need to do any CGI. If the MCU is known for anything, it's for the destruction of property during battles. There's always going to be multiple big explosions in a Marvel film. While it's easy to think that these are all CGI generated too, often they aren't. Instead, they use practical effects, meaning they actually blow stuff up and record it. This is done to add more realism to a shot. More often than not, it's easy to see when a big ball of fire has been generated via computers. The stunt coordinators will create a plan to cause the biggest explosion in the safest way possible. If a character needs to be in the middle of it, well, there's two ways to make that possible. Firstly, they shot the scene without the fire and with the character. Then they shot the same scene with the fire and without the character. In post, they essentially layer the two takes on top of each other, giving the appearance that the actor was in the middle of the fire. But this can also come over as unnatural, as well as being time-consuming and expensive. So the second way is to use a stunt person to fill in for the actor. They get the joy of being near fire and when things are going boom. Speaking of stunt people, nice segue, good for us. That brings us into our next entry. Many of the MCU actors love to get their hands athletically dirty in their role. They want to take part in every stunt scene. Chris Evans and Tom Holland are well known for jumping at every chance to do their own stunts. However, sometimes they aren't allowed to do them, especially when the stunt has some risks to it. It's better to let the trained professionals take over instead. A stunt double is also required if certain fighting choreography is above the talents of the actor. It means that pretty much every MCU actor has a stunt double. For example, Heidi Moneymaker has been Scarlett Johansson's stunt double since her MCU debut in 2010's Iron Man 2, and Bobby Holland Hanton has been Chris Hemsworth since Thor: The Dark World. Since Asgard, Wakanda, and various alien worlds don't actually exist in real life yet, the MCU needs to get crafty, so they rely on green, sometimes blue screens. The actors will perform various scenes while a massive screen is in the background. That way, it's easier for the scenery to be added during post-production. While it's usually used for exotic locations, it can also be due to logistics in real-world places. Let's say Marvel were filming a scene on Clifton Suspension Bridge in Bristol, England. The bridge can't exactly be closed for a long time for Marvel to film. It would also cost a lot of money for Disney to ship equipment, crew, and cast all the way from the US to Bristol, so they shot the scene with a green screen in the US. They may send a small team to the location to film location footage to add in post. It's far cheaper than sending everyone.